Hi everyone, it's me, Mark from Not Defining. I wanted to do a diary of my life as a bisexual man living in this world. If you already follow my channel, you'll know that I talk about a lot of different topics. I'm a sexuality coach and all the rest of it, but I wanted to share just really authentic reflections from my life and how it is just being a genuine person in this world who happens to fall under the term of bisexual. So I guess the first video I wanted to make was just a little update so you can know me a little bit better. And then the next ones that I'm going to make will be just kind of my daily life and authentic thoughts. So I am 34 years old and I live in Dublin, Ireland. I'm originally from the UK. My hometown is called Kilmarnock in Scotland. And I identify as bisexual. I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s where really even being gay was considered to be like very difficult. We didn't have equal marriage, we didn't have a lot of gay rights, and I grew up under this thing called Section 28, which was basically a kind of British version of Don't Say Gay, where you couldn't teach or talk about LGBT issues in schools or youth clubs or anything like that. So it was really hard, and being gay was used as this kind of constant negative term. So I grew up in this world, and so when I started having attractions to guys, it was terrifying. It was absolutely petrifying, and I held it in. The difficulty for me was that I didn't actually even know who I was, because I also had feelings for girls as well. So I didn't really know what they meant. They weren't kind of 50-50. They didn't really make sense. Like I had very strong bonds of love for a girlfriend that I had when my kind of sexual development started, and we didn't have any sexual intercourse or anything, but we did have physical interaction, and that was instinctually exciting for me as well. My body reacted to it, and I really enjoyed the intimacy and kissing and being with her and everything. But I also had very confusing attractions to guys as well. And there was just no concept of bisexuality. It really just wasn't a thing that I knew about. Part of the reason why I started this channel is because if I had known that it was a valid orientation and that all of these things are completely natural, I could have avoided a lot of pain in my life. But instead, because none of that was around, you know, I just kind of went into myself. I repressed it. I had a lot of insecurity, not only about my attractions, but in the way that I presented, the way I expressed myself, what I guess we could call gender expression. You know, I didn't feel masculine. I felt like I had to watch all the kind of feminine or effeminate mannerisms or behaviors or even thoughts that I had. I lied about the way I was feeling, what I liked to do, even the music, the films, the popular culture that I enjoyed, and I became incredibly repressed. Unfortunately, this led to a period of about more or less 10 years of my life where I was just super unbelievably depressed. Thankfully, I got through that. I don't really know how, but I talk about it in some of my other videos. They'll be popping up here about my story in a bit more detail. But fast forward till today, I managed to get over it and to really love myself as who I am. And part of that was just really the acceptance that we don't have to be a label. We don't have to be one thing. we don't have to categorize ourselves or explain ourselves to other people. And that really freed me. And so I have had various interactions, relationships, bonds, experiences with men, women, and people of other gender identities. I am quite fluid. That means that the way that I feel towards different people and different genders at different times can change. It changes quite a lot. I am a deep thinker, like many fluid bi people. I think a lot about this because I've had to kind of try and understand it. A lot of, again, what I do on this channel is kind of sharing what I've learned so that other people can understand themselves better. If you are interested, then please check out our channel, come subscribe, because I've got videos coming out all the time. But yeah, so a big kind of moment came for me where I actually found the love of my life, who I married. She is a woman, queer woman, and actually being with a queer woman actually opened me up so much to be loved, to be appreciated, to be attractive, to a woman who actually was attracted to me and loved me for who I am, not the mask of masculinity that I thought I had to put on, was truly life-changing. We were together for 7 years. Unfortunately, devastatingly for me actually, that relationship came to an end about 1.5 years ago, at which point I moved to come and live in Dublin. It's been a very, very hard time, but my online community and this space has really helped me to move through that. And I've learned a lot of things, but essentially that's me. I trained as an integrative mental health coach, which essentially means that I help people to understand themselves better, help people to get over issues in their lives or hurdles they may be going through. And I have clients and also a Patreon community where I speak with people, I kind of empower and encourage people to really find their best self, and that brings me so much joy. Other things about me, I guess, is that I'm very tall. I'm 6'8" or just over 2 meters tall, and I identify as a man or a guy or a male, but I also identify as non-binary, kind of fluid in my gender. I don't really like the whole concept of referring to people by essentially what genitals you think they have. I think the whole concept of ladies and gentlemen, male and female, it's just blah. So I kind of really connect with the concept of non-binary, and I use the pronouns he or they because I accept that, hey, you know, I present as a man and that's the way people are going to refer to me, and I don't mind that. I also identify strongly with the asexual spectrum. I speak about that in a video in detail, so you can check that out on my channel. But essentially, if I was to describe myself perfectly, it would be not defining. I don't define the way that I love. I don't define the way that I experience physical intimacy. I don't define the way that I want to have relationships. I also kind of identify a lot as polyamorous, asexual, non-binary, bisexual, pansexual. It doesn't really matter to me what labels you put on it, because I don't really feel like we should have to put labels on things. I'm just a human being. And that's really why I wanted to do this video diary, to just speak authentically about me as a human being, me as Mark, the person in this world, because there's so much about me and there's so much about all of us. There's so much that is great and wonderful and interesting and exciting and beautiful about you, the person who is listening to this. And if you've got to this point in the video, then thanks for watching. And the most powerful thing, the most important thing that I've discovered in my journey is that honesty, radical honesty and authenticity is the most powerful thing in the entire universe. The more that we can push past those barriers that say, oh, you're not enough, or oh, you have to change the way you are, or oh, you have to put on a mask to be accepted, yeah, or you have to achieve or be something or be like someone else. You know, you can't express what's really going on inside. Yeah, the more we can understand that, we can push those boundaries away and live in the authenticity of who we are. That is just absolute divine power and magnificence. And that is what I want to share by being open on this diary series. So I don't know what's going to come up, but if you like hearing my story, if you like hearing more about me, then you can check out this video where I go a bit more kind of gradually in detail. And if you would like to hear really deep, really kind of like scary things that I kind of tentatively admit to a small private group of people, then check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/notdefining. I have a podcast there where I reveal things that I can't reveal on the open internet, but that's that. You can also come and chat with me and meet other people who are like us. So anyway, that is diary entry number 1. I hope that it's been interesting. What about you? Please let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear from you. Thank you for listening, and I will see you very soon. Bye for now.